Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Roadshow. This is the first episode of the new year of 2014. This is episode 12 from Daytona Beach, Florida. I need to announce, firstly and foremost, we covered preseason thunder at Daytona International Speedway, and the weather was so unpredictable and so horrendous. With wind, thunder, and lightning, constant rain, we ended up having to get all of our resources together and basically do recon while we were out there. A lot of good photos came out of it. We ended up having to recap everything in the comforts of the studio due to the weather. With that being said, I'd like to welcome Senior Darq to the program.
What's up, man? How you doing?
He was there with me, as was Randy from Geek World Order. We did our best to cover the event, and we are still pressing on with said coverage. First thing, we'd like to, as always, thank you guys for a great 2013. We appreciate all the support. Please continue to tell your friends about us on Facebook. Please like the Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at the SS Roadshow. And, of course, subscribe to YouTube, which is the best experience in slideshow, video, pictures, and audio from our show. So, before we get into the Daytona festivities, let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit because we haven't been on the air since our Christmas episode. So, how was Christmas break for you, Darq?
Oh, it was pretty good. I was just chilling with my girl. We went to her mother's house, and we spent Christmas over there like usual with friends and family, and it was cool.
Friends and family thing is always the best. Did you eat and overeat and overindulge in booze as I did?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
We're paying the price now. I went to North Carolina, as I usually do for family stuff. Had a great time up there. It was really cold. When I flew back to Orlando before we headed out over to Daytona, it was 19 degrees when I left with a minus 10 wind chill. You being a Floridian for at least 13 years, I don't think you could have handled that cold. It wasn't like it was when we covered the October race.
Nah, dude, I'm not used to the cold weather anymore. I'm so used to the warm now that every time that it gets a little bit cold, I'm already freezing.
We hope that now that we're back home, it's warmed up a little bit, and we hope that everyone had a great holiday. As far as New Year's, what'd you do then? I had thought about going out, but I really didn't want to deal with the huge crowds and the amateur night drivers. Were you on the same page, or did you guys hit the town?
Nah, we stayed home. My girl was working, so I couldn't really do anything. And even if they invite me somewhere, I'm not gonna just go and then leave her by herself. So I was just at home. I waited for her, and one friend of hers came, and we just chilled at the house. We watched the usual New Year's thing and TV like everybody does, and just drank, chilled, ate food, and just had a good time.
That's the safer way to do it. That's a bummer she had to work though.
Well, I'm glad, though, in a way, because I'm not too big on going out on those days, especially where, people go crazy and they drive nuts, and there's cops looking out for people. So, I don't know. Unless I have a show or something important, I don't really go out those days.
That's definitely the safer and cheaper way to get it done. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right on into this event that we covered. It's called NASCAR Preseason Thunder, and basically what happens is, right here in our own backyard, Daytona is not too far away. The Daytona 500 is basically the Super Bowl of NASCAR. And what's weird about it as compared to football, while I'm making that analogy, is that we do our first biggest event first. We come out the gate with the biggest event of the year. So what these guys do is they all come from North Carolina with their cars, and the drivers come out and they set up. They set up shop, they get in the garage, get the cars ready to go, and they get on track, and they do some testing and some drafting practice and some really cool stuff. Aside from that, you get some goodie bags. We were able to collect a ton of memorabilia. We were able to do question and answer panels with drivers, meet some of them, and actually get autographs. Between that and camping out, we braved the elements, but this gear wouldn't have survived out there. We were bundled up with rain gear and able to stay there and participate. But, as I'd said before, we're pretty much having to redo the episode indoors.
You remember that we grilled in the rain?
Yes, we actually created an awning on the back of the SUV, opened all the windows and doors to the best of our ability without ruining my leather interior. But he called it grill-tay because, you add liquid and it's sauteing. He called it grill-taying.
Yeah, we were grill-taying.
But it didn't hold us down, but the first day, I feel bad speaking of Randy from Geek World Order because it was a complete wash. They kept drying the track, and it seemed like every time they'd get it dry, 20 minutes later, a huge storm system would come in. So all Thursday, the only day that the guy could be there, he never got to see cars on track.
You know, it's so funny, right? The first time that you took me was in Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
And I was expecting, the common thing that everybody, stereotype that, big crashes and a whole bunch of stuff like that. Even though I wasn't doing it in bad intention, I just wanted to see the action, everybody said.
Of course.
And it didn't happen. Nobody wrecked or anything like that, and that's a good thing. But then also you were like, oh yeah, they're gonna race and they're gonna do draft and they're gonna test cars, and I was like, all right. And then the first day, nothing happened because of that stupid rain.
Well, all day we sat there and we just kept grilling all of our food and drinking adult beverages. And then, of course, we went in and did the fanfare thing later at night once they had called it for the day. We were able to get Austin Dillon and Casey Mears' autographs.
Mm-hmm.
The Austin Dillon thing's a pretty big deal because, he's taken over the number 3 for Dale Earnhardt Sr. That car hasn't been on the track since he was tragically killed in 2001 at Daytona. We were able to get an autograph from him on his rookie year, which was pretty special. And then we met up with some friends that we have that were set up camping as well, and we were able to hang out with them and just brave the rain and stay the night. I tell you what we'll do. Picture news this week is basically all about this trip. So we're going to start with some pictures. They're a mixed bag of some that Randy took. They have his watermark, the Geek World Order symbol, and then some that we took between Dark and myself while we were out there. The first thing we're going to look at here is Kevin Harvick's number 4 Budweiser Chevy. He's also got an associate sponsor from Jimmy John's. You'll notice some of these cars have like half their paint scheme on them, and some don't. That's just so they can be identified by sponsors. Harvick switched to the number 4 because now he's driving for Tony Stewart. So it was really cool to get to see the new car unveiled in person. Randy took a great picture of that through the garage window. They have viewing areas where we can, where media can go and get good pictures. And also, this is a familiar sight. We saw this car getting built back in October when you and I visited Michael Waltrip Racing.
At the shop. Yeah.
This is the 55 Aaron's Dream Machine, which my dad's friend Gary took us on a private tour of. The 55 will be driven this year by Brian Vickers, but due to his blood clot situation in his leg, Michael Waltrip actually showed up and tested the car. So we were able to see a machine that we had actually put our hands on before it hit the track out here. Speaking of Michael Waltrip Racing, here we see Clint Boyer's number 15 Camry.
That's a good angle.
That's a great angle.
Oh, yeah.
You see the TRD, the Toyota Racing Development symbol
nice.
there. He's still sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. They got a nice day glow yellow going on there. That car is very easy to see from anywhere on the track. Oh, and his helmet really kicked ass. He's got this tribal red paint scheme going on, and then a picture of George Jones on the back smoking a cigarette. What a boss. Look at his sideburns and his Ray-Bans.
That's a pretty sick helmet.
Yeah, that's Clint's helmet. I guess he's either using it for Speed Weeks, maybe for the 500. I'm not sure. Another good picture by Randy. This is Austin Dillon's number 3. It's going to be black, sponsored by Dow Chemical with an associate from Bass Pro Shops and Cheerios. It was really cool to get to see the car. I mean, it's an odd feeling to see that number and that black back in Daytona after all that had happened there, but it's kind of a good feeling to see that they're moving forward. Here's another good shot of the nose. You can see how clean and polished these cars are and how much work goes in to building them. And we were able to spend so much time in the garage, at least while it was raining, and see some of this stuff. Here you'll see the Burger King Racing Team's number 93, driven by Travis Quapple. That's Dr. Pepper paint scheme. I think Burger King owns them and has an associate with Pepsi. So you'll see uniform red rims with both cars. That's the 83, the teammate. They were parked side by side. So we were able to see those. And all this time, they're just making preparations and doing the best they can, considering that, they weren't allowed to get on track. When we got there, the cars were cranked.
The 2 cars that we just saw right now, they're the same team?
Yeah, they're teammates.
Okay.
So here you see on the other side of the garage, this is Trevor Bain's Quick Lane 21. The Wood Brothers is a historic racing team that's been around for years and years. This kid actually, as a complete underdog, somehow snaked his way into winning the Daytona 500.
Wow.
He was one of the youngest winners ever, if not the youngest, just a few years back. I mean, he made the best of his line and drafted through and won the race. So it was cool to see that car.
Awesome.
And after we spent all that time in the garage, we were able to go into the fan zone section and do some question and answer with some of our favorite drivers. Here is a picture of Dale Jr. As you see, there's seats in a row and they're taking panel questions, and they had, a mediator basically answering questions about the season and the Sprint Unlimited, which is a big exhibition race that they do to sort of kick off everything in Speed Weeks. And you see Rick Allen talking to him there. This picture is the next day.
Yes.
After we spent a night of getting hammered with our friends, finally the sun is out the next day and cars are on track. So,
Man, big difference, dude.
how did it feel for you to be this close to a real car, actually standing there and not, looking from afar, either in the seats or the middle of the infield?
That was pretty cool. I was shocked when I woke up in the morning. I remember we went to sleep and we were sleeping in the car because it was like raining. It was like no way we can have set no tent.
Yeah, we had to sleep in the SUV. There was no
when
way
I woke
to set
up,
the
all I
tent
hear
up.
is jets.
Jet
loud
dryers is a
sound.
good
Oh, man.
sound. That means track is drying.
That's a good alarm clock, I tell you that. And man, as soon as I woke up, man, it was bright as hell. There was more people all around where we were because we camped at an area where it was like secluded. It was awesome because we had like the bathroom all to ourselves. We could do pretty much whatever we wanted, eat, drinks.
We were right
smoke,
by the
whatever,
tunnel to
and
leave.
It was awesome. It was great, and all the people there were really good. They all welcome us. We were troopers. I was like, oh man, I'm glad you guys stood because a lot of people left and stuff, and they didn't think it
tons
was
of
gonna
people
get
left.
better. But it got better. The second day, it was so bright. It was hot. I mean, that picture right there says it all. It's so bright and clear. There was no rain, no clouds, nothing. It was just shiny, clear as hell. And I'm not a daytime person, but it was a cool day and stuff. And we had a good time. From there on, the rest of the trip was good.
So from this point, basically what we did was we went ahead and we said, hey, let's attack the infield garage area. I'm sorry, we were camped in the infield. Here, you see the 42. This is a new guy coming in. This is Kyle Larson. I was able to snap a quick shot of him because basically what they'll do is have the cars leave the garage and they'll go into pit road and get in a line, and they'll either let them leave for single car runs or they'll all get together.
This guy's not fully painted, right? He just put the logos so people know that's that car.
Yeah, it's a Target car.
But that's not the color, though.
It'll
right?
probably be a red car
Oh, nice. Okay.
and with white numbers.
Ooh, I'd like to see
basically
that.
reversed.
What car is he driving?
That's a Chevrolet SS.
Oh, SS. Okay.
He's on the Earnhardt
nice.
Ganassi team, teammates with Jamie McMurray.
That's a pretty nice car.
It's a good-looking car. Anyhow, so they line up. They come in, as in this picture, when Kevin Harvick's coming back in from his run. They head out to the garage. They make their adjustments. We got to go on top of the fan zone tower. Here we are looking. If you look really close, you see teeny tiny people up at the top of the tower. Those are spotters and TV people with working cameras so they can see to tell their driver around this 2.5 mile facility.
Wow.
That's right. It's 2.5 miles around per lap. Speaking of that, when we first pulled into here and we went through the tunnel and came out in the infield, only track you've ever been to is Charlotte, which is 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
What were you feeling when you look around and see a place that requires you to go 2.5 miles for one lap of racing?
You can fit like 2 of those in there, right?
It does seem like you could fit
Seriously.
2.
I mean, they had a big ass lake. I mean, huge.
11-acre lake.
It was awesome. I was like, wow, look at that. Not to mention, it had the airport in the back. It's got the new rising thing that they're building also. I mean, there was so much things going on that, like, even if there wasn't racing, there was a lot to do there. That's why it was a pretty cool day. The first day wasn't so bad, but second, third day, they were great. So
Whether you drive over to your friend's campsite across the track or do a lot of walking through the garage, you can tell you're in a 2.5 mile facility. So we go on the back side of the garage, and we're looking, again, we're above the 83's stall where they back them out and send them back out onto the track. There's Trevor Bayne actually taking off again. Here's Kevin Harvick coming in. If you look close, he's still in the seat. You see his helmet right there. The guy's looking in the window. He's like, how did it feel?
oh, wow.
We're taking the side window out so they can talk to him, make some adjustments, and get him back out. They were basically gathering data as single cars for most of the time. They didn't have a whole lot of time with the rain. They had to basically make up for it on Friday. Here's the said 11-acre lake. This was really nice because you can see there's an airplane in the distance. There's a runway back there. Huge grandstand. RV parking is to the right of the sidewalk, and they just recently built this into a nice little beach where there's like picnic places that you can just sit down and hang out. I felt like we got some good views of the landscape, but the cars are so small coming down the backstretch that we really couldn't capture them without a
No, we
good
couldn't.
camera. At this point, mind you, poor Randy had already had to leave, so he had the better camera. This is a little shot of our makeshift campsite. You know, we have my car there with the said awning. We got our tent set up, and we're grilling food. Let's see, what all did we have over the course of the time we were there? We had bratwurst. We had burgers.
So we had Baba burgers. We had bratwurst. We had
had
some briskets that you made.
Beef brisket. That was a Jack Daniel's beef brisket.
That was real good.
We had 2 separate kinds of pork chops.
Exactly.
And then we also had 2 different fillets.
Yeah.
I had a garlic and herb fillet, one for each of us, and then I had another one for each of us, portobello mushroom fillets.
Oh, yeah. We had a meat fest, dude.
So
that was awesome.
It was a lot of food, you know, and a lot of snack chips and a lot of beer. So
a lot of beer.
We needed to exercise as much as we did walking around this place. After the festivities sort of started winding down, we'll get to some more pictures a little bit later in the show of the drafting practice and all the single car runs and stuff. We actually were able to find a shower in the campground, clean ourselves up, and we went to see one of our favorite bands and great colleagues of ours called Hair of the Beast.
Hair of the Beast. Those guys are sick.
Those guys are awesome. As you see here, this is their little merch setup. They got a CD called Hair of the Beast, Ramblin' Whiskey Blues, and we were able to see them perform. What we're going to do here is we're going to take a quick break. Before we get into what all happened at that show, we're going to get Randall Wright and Jammer, that's the singer and guitar player respectively, on the line to discuss the debauchery that was that show. We'll have picture news photos going during their interviews. If you guys can hang on for us, we'll be right back with Hair of the Beast.
Welcome to SinisterGuitarPicks.com, home of the Metal Edge Guitar Picks. Sinister Guitar Picks is the only guitar pick company to make picks with real metal edges without the entire pick being made out of metal. Our picks produce a superior tone, faster attack, and they are way more durable than standard picks. If you don't believe us, go to our testimonial page and hear what other guitarists have to say. Sinister is more than just a guitar pick company, it's a lifestyle. Check out our clothing line, jewelry, and accessories to show everyone your love for music and that you're living this sinister lifestyle. Again, visit SinisterGuitarPicks.com.
This track is from Ramblin' Whiskey Blues by Hair of the Beast. And now here's your host, Sunni Simmons.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Roadshow. We are honored with a very special guest here. We have on the line with us Mr. Randall Wright from Hair of the Beast. How are you doing, brother?
How are you, brother?
All right, you sound fired up. You guys been doing?
Always, baby.
You guys doing?
That way. Really fired up.
You're like the wild man of the bunch. I tell you what, man.
Someone's got to do the job, man.
I tell you, you know, my liver hates me every time I hang out with you, but between the sound that you guys have and the fun that we have, I have to keep doing it.
That's when it stops being fun, baby. That's when you quit.
Hey, real quick, while we got you on the line, some of our listeners may be new to the band Hair of the Beast. You're the front man. Do you want to kind of, me being a musician myself, I always hate this question, but it's kind of just a mainstay that everyone always asks, and it's tough to do, but how would you describe your sound and classify what you guys are about and what you sound like?
Leonard Skinner's me Iron Maiden.
Very nice. That's a good description.
Yeah.
I had to sit down, I had to think about it, but yeah, that's what I usually come up with.
So,
with some Black Sabbath in there and some Pantera, good things, a lot of Southern rock.
Yeah, I would definitely say there's a lot of Southern influence, but yet a lot of melodic and heavy background music.
A lot of like stoner rock and stuff too. I like a lot of the Mastodon and Bongzilla and
Yeah, Mastodon's awesome.
All those weed sludge bands. I was way into that for a while, and also like was in the art metal bands kind of for a while too, like your Page 99 and your Majority Rule, just stuff like that. And of course, love AST. Those guys are awesome. Mastodon and especially Remission and Life Club, his first album. So I've seen those guys like tiniest little coffee club, and it was so loud. I felt like my heart was rattling in my chest.
The show we saw the other night in Daytona, I mean, you guys, after you walked off stage, was, right before we had to leave, I was like, that small room and the energy you had, I mean, you guys took over that place and, you could feel it in your chest. I mean, how How much adrenaline did you have going into that show? And it looked to me that you guys were the stars of the night. I mean, you opened the night because you're on the road. But I mean, you guys took charge of that crowd. How was that?
Well, you know, when the crowd's there and they got energy to give back to you, that's what it's all about. When they give you a little something back, that makes you want to give them even more. And then when we feel that they're thinking that, it's just like the greatest feeling in the world.
You guys, you're touring right now on your Ramblin' Whiskey Blues album. How's the road treating you so far? You guys having fun, or how's everything going?
We always have fun on the road. We keep it fun.
And you actually, you played a couple of new tracks for us. One in particular that you had pointed out to me before the show was called Black Mountain. I think you closed with that, if I'm not mistaken. That was powerful stuff. Do you have a working title for this new album, or are you still just kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together? How's the process going?
Putting it together, we've kind of been leaning towards Black Mountain, but we just been throwing a lot of different names against the wall. We still have a lot more to record. We just got finished recording with my good friend Matt Johnson. He's an auto bossing, and now he does recording and production, and he's awesome. Revelation Studios is the name of his page. Check that out. He's got a lot of really cool bands. There's a lot of different stuff too. Like he does, not only does he do bands, he does little stuff on the side, like mashups and medals out, like popular songs and stuff. It's pretty cool too. But we're recording a new album with him. We just got finished recording Black Mountain. Jammer just got done re-recording all the guitars for it, so it should be. He said all the guitars and stuff were kind of weird with this new effect that he was using on it, so we went and recorded everything again. They said it's bonkers. It's just out of control.
Well, we're really excited for it. We've worn out Ramblin' Whiskey Blues ever since we got it. We're huge fans, and we consider you guys friends of the show and friends of ours. Whenever you guys get this thing done, send a copy here. We'll premiere it. We'll get you guys back on. We really want to make sure that all of our listeners get to know you and can support you. Sure. And what we're going to do for everybody is right now, we're going to play a track off of Ramblin' Whiskey Blues. This is track number 7 called The Beast Within, one of my favorites off of this record. So
one of my favorites too.
We love the whole thing. We're proud of you guys. You kicked ass. We're going to go ahead and let our listeners hear this.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate having us on, man.
No problem, man. You guys are welcome on here anytime. For our listeners, this one again is Hair of the Beast out of New Smyrna Beach. This track is called The Beast Within. We'll be right back after we rip your faces off with this track. Thank you, Randall.
Yeah, man.
Later. All right, the Roadshow is back. That song was called The Beast Within. That song ripped my fucking face off. We are actually honored by the presence of the guitar player from Hair of the Beast. We got Jammer on the line. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man, for upcoming shows and everything, you know.
How'd you feel after that show?
Oh, it was great. We had a killer crowd, and yeah, it was one of our better shows for sure.
Dude, I was trying so hard to take good pictures, and I got some good ones, but I'm telling you, you guys had that place spinning out of control. I mean, it was hard to get pictures due to the mosh pit. I mean, how is it, even though you're not that far from New Smyrna, to go to Daytona, it kind of feels like a home game sometimes, I guess, but how does it feel to go into completely new territory and just tear faces off like you did that night?
Yeah, no, it's fun, you know. There is just a lot of the same people that kind of hit the Smyrna area too, and then there's a whole bunch of people that don't even bother leaving Beachside in New Smyrna, and it's good to have that support over there in Daytona like that, you know.
Well, I tell you what, man, we thoroughly enjoyed the show. It was a nice break from all the race coverage that we were doing over at the Speedway. I saw that you guys, not only you have your Whiskey Ramblin' Blues CD for sale, but you have brand new shirts that look killer. And a mutual friend of ours, Bo Bradshaw, designed that for you, correct?
Yeah, he did. I just kind of gave him the concept about, you know, we kind of want to keep it Florida swampy, but then add a little power metal element to it, and he nailed it, you know.
Hey, does that shirt glow in the dark by any chance?
No, it looks like it would, though. But,
It really should.
In the future, we can work that out.
I think in a black light, it would definitely light up.
Yeah, oh, for sure. If you're at a strip club or something, I'm sure you'd be glowing.
None of us know anything about strip clubs, do we? I tell you what, man.
By the way, did you make it to Lollipops after the show?
We went by Molly Brown's.
Ah, oh, there you go.
Anyway, now that we've incriminated ourselves, let me ask you something real quick. You guys have got some tour dates going on with ASG. You're doing your Florida leg right now. How's that going?
It's going great. You know, they've been around a long time, and they've kind enough to put us on with them in their Florida leg, and their attendance at their shows, you know, it's great. A lot of people love those guys, and we love them, and we have similar sound, so it works out really well for us.
Well, I tell you what, man, we fucking enjoyed the hell out of your set. We've been rocking your CD all night. Actually, we've been playing it nonstop since we got it that night. And actually, we feel kind of fortunate because there was Black Mountain and a few other things off your new disc that's coming out that you guys sneak peeked for us at the show.
Yep.
Man, you guys are you're melting faces with this new record. I cannot wait. When is your projected time to be finished with this new one?
We're looking at right around about 3 months from now. So we have our first track, Black Mountain's already done, just about. The recording's done, so it's in post-production at this moment. But yeah, just right around 3 months is what we're looking at.
Well, I tell you what, as soon as you guys get that ready, if you want to debut it here on the Roadshow, you send us the file. We'll get you back on, and we'll let everybody hear it. Man, your guitar tone was crushing in the garage. I mean, it was like such a tight-knit show, and God, man, your tone was just so brutal. I could feel every hit in my chest. Like, I just can't, I can't describe in any more words how much of a fun time we had getting to come out and see you guys and actually not be playing and just sit back and take it in and talk to you and hang out with you. And we appreciate you. We consider you friends of the show, and you're welcome on here anytime, my friend.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it too. And yeah, as soon as we get the new sounds, we'll be sending it over your way and, you know, something out there.
Please do, man. Be safe out there. Drink one for us. Kick ass on this tour, and we'll be in touch, brother.
All right, sounds good.
All right, you're talking with Jammer from Hair of the Beast, Sunny Simmons Roadshow. We're taking a break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to the Roadshow, listeners. We are here with a great friend, a good colleague, and actually I'm a fan of this gentleman. This is Claudio Lagamba. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, Sonny. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for having us out to your amazing show in Daytona at the Seabreeze. Man, you guys rocked our faces off that night.
Oh, thank you, man. I really glad, first of all, that you guys came out first and foremost. But I hope more than anything that you guys had a good time, and appreciate it. Sorry about the weather situation, but we still managed to persevere through and have a killer show. So thank you for coming out. That was awesome.
Thank you for having us, man. The Roadshow always perseveres, and we have to thank you for the awesome show and the drinks that you provided and all the fun. First, let me just say a little bit about you. This guy, as I said, is a good friend, a good colleague. He's a jack of all trades and a master of all. How many bands are you currently working with besides, obviously, Hair of the Beast? We just talked to a few of your other bandmates about what you guys got going on, but tell us some more about what you have.
Yeah, besides Hair of the Beast being, my main original band, first and foremost, I also do an original hip-hop funk band called Altered Egos. And then Hair of the Beast also has a side project, which is the frontman Randall, lead guitarist Jammer, and myself on percussion, and we call ourselves the Rammer. And it's a Sublime tribute band. We do some Toto, we do reggae versions of different popular songs and stuff, and it's good. It's just a way to keep the chops up and keep everything going. And as a percussionist, I like to always have different styles, different tools in the toolbox, so to say, to keep going. I also do a punk rock cover band, all
Nice.
punk rock covers from the early 90s, and it's called One by One. That's super fun.
Awesome, man. I can't wait to see that as well. We have been rocking out to Ramblin' Whiskey Blues all night. Let's talk a little bit about Ill Creature Productions. This is a project of yours where, if I'm not mistaken, I'd like to call you a creative consultant. I think the term booking agent kind of has a stigma to it, and you're not a manager, but if you will, just give our listeners an idea of what goes on at Ill Creature day to day.
Okay, well, most definitely. Like you said, I appreciate that comment because, over the last couple of years, it's got the stigmatism of a booking agent being just somebody who does not book bands, takes their money, doesn't do a really good job. I mean, there's issues. Being a full-time musician is why I started Ill Creature Productions. Being in multiple bands, going through the rigmarole of, having to deal with, not every club is like this, but you've been in them clubs, Sonny, I know you have too.
Absolutely.
Bad bar owners and, bad booking agents. So I took it upon I got tired of it, basically. And I wanted to treat my bands and not only my bands, but the fans that were coming to the shows better. Give them a better show. Give them a better production. So you kind of saw me the night of the show running around, so to say, like a chicken with my head cut off. I mean, not only with Ill Creature Productions do I do booking. It is, like you said, it is mostly booking. It's not management, because with booking I can be more personal. I can attend most of the shows if I'm not gigging anywhere else, and I'm overseeing everything from the moment the musician walks into anything that I have booked with Ill Creature Productions. I'm the guy who's not only booking you, I'm helping you unload. I'm helping you load at the end of the night. I'm making sure the pay is done. I'm signing the contract. I'm there overseeing and sometimes running sound. It goes a long way. I appreciate it, and I think the musicians who I book and work with appreciate it more than I know they do. I've had so many people just tell me, wow, it's a breath of fresh air to actually work with the person who booked this for the venue. And
Well, you took the... Sorry to interrupt you. You took the words out of my mouth by saying it's a breath of fresh air, because so many people don't care in the business about the artist anymore. And that's not us crying, woe is me, crying the blues. We need somebody that's sincere and honest like yourself. And I've noticed that work ethic in you and that sincerity. And I feel like that's made us better friends. And I would definitely recommend anybody out there, whether they're an entry-level band or an up-and-coming sensation, to talk to you. So where can people reach you other than illcreatureproductions.com?
Also, go to my Facebook, Ill Creature Productions. Can't miss it. And then you're more than welcome to send anything to this email address if you want me to give it out, Sonny.
Please do, and spell it if there's any weird.
Yeah,
you know.
My name's awkward enough. Unfortunately, that's what it is. But it works for me. You can reach me at claudiolagamba@yahoo.com, and I'm going to spell that. It's CLAUDIOLAGAMBA. Once again, it's claudiolagamba@yahoo.com. And, Sonny, and also, primarily the garage that I'm doing the booking for, you can go through their website as well, and that's garageDaytonaBeach.com. And a lot of the stuff is transferred right to me. Or you can go to Garage Daytona Beach on Facebook and see a lot of the stuff that I'm doing there. Any of the sites that I mentioned, or it will take you directly to any of the calendars that I'm doing, and you can see all my up-and-coming events that I have going on.
Do you have a Twitter or a phone number, like an office line for yourself?
Yes, let me give you that. It's area code 386-566-4250. You're not going to get a secretary to answer. You're going to get me personally.
That's awesome. That's what this business needs.
Yeah, the personal touch, man. Really, for me, Sonny, that's what it's been about for music. I've grown up playing music my whole life, had musicians, my father, my uncle, and multiple people in my family. And I love it. It's in my blood. It's what I want to do. It's all I've done. And I want to continue, to play and take care of the band. That's the one thing that is missing. That's the one thing I think that everybody that I've been on the road with and everything have seen have been told, that's the thing that's missing, that personal touch of having somebody who's there and who actually cares, instead of just getting the band to come in and out and shelter him and not giving anybody any special attention, or especially new and up-and-coming bands. Yeah, I don't care if you're a garage band or, like you said, Sonny, a pro touring band. I've dealt with it all, and I'm fair to everybody, and I think that stands out with my personality more. And, that's what I believe in, and that's what I want to do, and that's where Ill Creature has been born out of. So, yeah.
Well, we totally appreciate what you're doing. We respect what you're doing. You're a great guy. Like I said, all of our listeners, all of our fans, anybody with the band at any level, talk to Claudio. I mean, he has a heart of gold, and his intentions are sincere to help you get to the next level. And again, dude, we appreciate you being on so much. We appreciate you having us out to your show. You treated us wonderfully, and we consider you a friend of the show. And hopefully we'll see you soon. I hope everything goes good with your tour and your upcoming shows. And stay in touch with us and let us know what you're doing, man.
Absolutely. I'd love to, man. I definitely want to keep you up to date with what's going on with Hair of the Beast in the future. So I hope to reach you back with some more and exciting news, what's going on, with Hair of the Beast and also with Ill Creature, man. And I can't thank you enough, Sonny, for everything you're doing out there, too, because it is people like yourself and your beliefs in giving people like me an opportunity to reach out to people that I may not be able to get to. And I hope I can do the same for you, my friend, as well on this end.
I hope our show will help you cross some new bridges, and we'll be in touch, Claudio. We appreciate having you on, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks,
Have a good night, brother.
Listen up, everybody. I need to talk to you real quick about Cat Ward Productions. Again, that is Cat Ward Productions. Photography, graphics, web, promotions, marketing, and more. Cat did the logo for the Roadshow. We couldn't have asked for better customer service, better vision, better hands-on working with representing our product. She can do the same for you, too. Contact Cat Ward at catwardproductions@gmail. That's CATWARD, catwardproductions@gmail.com. Get in touch with Cat. She will make your project look good.
All right, Roadshow listeners, we're here with Randy Pence from Geek World Order. We had the pleasure of having Randy come out with us on Thursday to NASCAR's preseason Thunder. He took some great pictures for us, and unfortunately, he had to battle the elements with us and didn't get to see any cars on track. But we sort of want to get some feedback from you as far as this being one of your first your first experience at Daytona, and we'll sort of recap some of the stuff that you didn't get to see, unfortunately, and we'll talk about some of the footage that we sent you that you saw. So first and foremost, what is the magnitude of coming into a facility that is 2.5 miles around one lap and taking all that in as soon as you come in the tunnel at Daytona?
That was definitely something to behold. It was glorious. Going through that tunnel, it was almost like going on a roller coaster ride. Because you just kind of sit there, you're anticipating it, and then just when you come out from the tunnel into the infield, it's such a breathtaking view. It's kind of funny because it really reminded me a lot of the first time I went to an actual convention. And it's so funny how the parallels between, going to the NASCAR Fan Fest and a convention really parallel. Because, like, when I went to MegaCon for the first time back in 2005, I got that same feeling the first time I stepped into the Orange County Convention Center. I was like, this place is huge. It's just so breathtaking.
I was reading a blog of yours that you had already put out, and you were touching on the parallels. If you will, give some of our listeners an idea of what you mean between convention life and race geekdom, if you will, and the people that are so heavily involved in this sport and they follow it like our convention friends. Give everybody an idea of as far as what parallels are there, making it very similar when it comes to being fanatical about either a sport or a certain Star Wars or Star Trek movie.
Yeah, because that's really how I feel that geekdom is defined, is that passion you have for something. And when it comes to the passion that, geeks have about Star Wars and Star Trek, I saw as much of that, in the infield at Daytona. People were, because there were so many things that were similar. You had your autograph lines. The drivers were basically the celebrity guests at the convention. Then, the drivers were doing all sorts of cool Q&A things, really connecting with the fans, telling us what they were doing this year. And that's sort of just, we do the same thing at a convention. We go around, see all the different sides. We had that, we saw that one lady camped out for, what was it, Kevin Harvick's wristband, I was thinking? That was the one she was in?
She was in the pouring rain with 3 ponchos on in a camping chair, just soaking wet from head to toe. She was as diehard as anyone would be to meet, let's say, a George Lucas.
Oh, yeah, you go to something like Comic-Con, those people camp out for, like a week for, like, an hour-long panel. And they camp out for the big ones, like Stan Lee or somebody's there.
So, despite the weather, which, you and I both, and Senior Dark, we were out there, we just, we had some great food and some fun and some good times despite it all. We were able to make the best of it. With you looking back over all besides, who's your favorite driver?
Kevin Harvick.
And you got some great shots of him. So, minus the Q&A that you got to see with him, and who did you get an autograph from?
We were in line for Austin Dillon and Kate Spears.
What was so symbolic about the Austin Dillon autograph this particular year?
Oh, man, that's a big deal. If you follow NASCAR for any amount of time, you know the name Dale Earnhardt. Of course, this year being 2014, Austin Dillon, who was the grandson of Richard Childress, bringing that legendary number back, which, of course, he's bringing it to a lot of controversy because fans are pretty well split on that. Because they're either, they'll say, oh, hey, that's great. It's got Dale's approval. It's got everyone's approval. Or like, no, that number should have died with Dale.
Well, I think if the Earnhardt family agrees with it and it's Childress's family, I wish him the best. And I think we were really lucky to get an autograph from him on his rookie year because I think that kid's going to make some big strides.
Yes, he's got a lot of talent, and he has earned the right to drive that car. He's won it, every level he's been in. He's won championships. He's proven he can go out and wheel it.
Well, let me ask you this, which is bittersweet for you. Looking at the videos that we sent you, when you see those nationwide cars in packs of 4, 6, 8, and 10 cars, how does that feel to you? Not just bittersweet as a person that wasn't there, but how does that feel to see how close we were, knowing exactly our vantage point and seeing the magnitude of those cars go by in a pack?
Oh, it was awesome.
And I'm sure it doesn't hurt that Ty Dillon, his brother, and the 3 led most of these drafting practices that we showed you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's that family speed, man.
Well, they kicked ass all weekend long. We had a blast with you. We appreciate having you on. We're going to have you on much more. Your pictures are going to be in our slideshow. And if you watch some of the other videos, you escaped at the right time, because if you see when we were trying to leave with a tornado coming and a massive thunderstorm, the Roadshow mobile's battery died, and we actually had to have some help come from turn 4 to save us in the form of John H. We'll just call him John H. You escaped the weather at the right time, my friend. But I hope you had a good time out there with us.
Oh, I did. I mean, that's one of the other kind of parallels to the convention life. We go to conventions and, you have that disappointment where, some celebrity you were really hoping for has to back out due to a commitment or something comes up. And that's what happened with the weather situation on Thursday. I mean, they tried as hard as they could, but it just couldn't happen. But we made the best of it. We made memories, we hung out, and that's really one of the parallels about the convention life. The friends you make, the memories you make, and that's one of the big things that really stuck in my mind that day.
Well, we definitely share those memories with you, my friend. If you and possibly us all together could attend a race this season during Speed Weeks, whether it be the Unlimited, whether it be the Duels or the 500, what are we looking at going to cover for our next episode?
I would pick the Unlimited. So let's face it, that is a cream of the crop group of drivers. There's no points and a lot of cash on the line. It's pretty much a checkers or wreckers kind of race. A lot of excitement. Absolutely pumped for it.
Well, whether we see that one and others, we will definitely be at that one with you. We thank you for being on, brother. You took some great photos, and we appreciated having you on board. And we look forward to seeing you at more races, and we'll definitely have you back on the show.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. The website is geekworldordersite.com. And if you go on all the social media outlets, just look for Geek World Order. You'll find us.
That's Twitter and Facebook. All right, Randy, we appreciated having you out at Daytona. We appreciate having you on the Roadshow. We'll be in touch, brother. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can obviously tell by our last segment, we had a wonderful night listening to those rambling whiskey blues and drinking with those badasses called Hair of the Beast. Dark, how are you feeling on Saturday morning at this point?
Oh, I feel great, man. It's a good day. It's still pretty good. It looks like we're going to have some fun tonight and today and just enjoy myself.
Here's how I felt. I felt hungover like one of these race cars that hit me. There's no better alarm clock than cars in a line going by at 200 miles an hour. We awoke after finally getting a decent night's sleep. We were actually able to set our tent up and not get soaked through. As you can tell, cars are on the track, and it's a much different day. We're a little bit hungover. We're drinking the pain away, and we're seeing cars in massive groups, anywhere from 4 to 10 at a time drafting, and that is a wall of sound coming by, is it not, my friend?
Oh, yeah.
Way louder than single car runs. You see our favorite number 3 is always up in the front in some of these photos. Basically, this was our last day on the assignment. So we decided, hey, we're just going to hang out, watch these guys do their thing, see how fast they can get. They were at 180 in single car runs before this practice. Next thing you know, they've gained 10 and sometimes up to 20 miles an hour, depending on the size of the pack.
It's funny that when they were racing just single, they were a lot louder when they're separate. And when they get all together, it sounds like a big wall of sound, but it's not as loud and blasting.
It's like a lower roar.
Yeah.
I still haven't quite understood that. I guess the sound somehow gets absorbed between the cars around them, but they are definitely louder in single car runs. Most of the afternoon, they did not single car runs, but they did single car lines and then tried to form packs, which is exactly what we wanted to see on Thursday. We want to see how these guys can pass and see a little bit of racing, even if it doesn't count for anything. The sky was nice enough on this photo here where you can see how massive the Daytona Rising structure is. It's taller than any other grandstand, taller than the spotter stand. And those guys are walking beams, working in the wind, working in the rain and elements. We were bitching and moaning that we were cold and wet. These dudes are walking with no harnesses on and hard hats doing their job the whole time. Wasn't that a spectacle to see?
Yeah, that was crazy. It was raining, and it's cloudy and foggy and windy, and those guys were still working. Like, the cranes were on, the lights were on, and you see people and beep, beep, and all that stuff. And I was like, wow. And so, I mean, their goal is to get it done by 2016 and stuff, but
Yeah, it's going to take a couple of years to get that
Yeah,
taken
definitely.
care of. It was funny that when we were first set up and trying to build a shelter around our equipment to do the roadshow, we actually got some attention from News 13 staff.
yeah.
And
I remember that.
one of the reporters came by and actually talked to us and about the significance of such a huge structure. We talked to him briefly, and actually we made it on the news. So the roadshow's gone statewide. I was going to say national, but here's another little picture. It just gives you an idea. The blue dot is us in turn 1. Where all the white trailer-looking things are, that's the garage area. That's how far we had to go meet drivers. And then to the right of the lake in between the other turn is where our friends were. And what basically happened was nightfall started setting in. You know, we've been watching cars draft and practice all day. We were thrilled. You know, we had been there for 3 days. We were tired, but man, we were hanging on and we were still partying. We were still eating good and just having fun.
Oh, yeah.
So as the night sort of crept in, the cars came off the track and took it easy to get a safe ride home. And lo and behold, as we're packing up, after we had took some amazing videos of draft and practice, which we'll show you later in the show, a massive thunderstorm comes rolling in, and I look at the weather app that we have, and it says tornado warnings in the area also. We start packing the car real quick, and we figure, hey, we'll just sit in here, we'll listen to some music, have plenty of gas in the tank. Long story short, battery is dead. And at this point, we're laughing to keep from crying. Actually, on the video footage that the fans will see, we are laughing.
Oh, yeah.
We ended up having to take 2 tables and cover my sunroof. We could get into the car, but the sunroof was open. Torrential rain is pouring down. Our good friend John is in the garage area in the middle where the white is. He had to go from there back to his turn 4 tent or pop-up camper right by the lake and drive all the way back to the blue dot and jumper cable us,
Yeah.
which we have video of. We're going to show that toward the end of the show. I have to say, all in all, it was an adventure. It was one of the most fun episodes we've done since we've been the Sonny Simmons Roadshow. The best thing I can say is we've never spent 3 days doing one episode, and we were able to cram so much information, so much resource, so much good entertainment between seeing a band and covering the sport into one episode that I'm really proud of us. I feel like we stepped into 2014 accomplishing a new goal to take on more and make this show better. We hope you guys actually appreciate that and enjoy it, and I'm sure you will. I mean, this is hands-on footage between pictures and video, and we typically do our formal goodbye on here, but what we're going to do this time is we're going to end the show with the whole short video of John saving us in the pouring rain. You'll see us leave the tunnel. You'll see the torrential storm coming, and you'll hear your usual goodbyes and thank yous from the roadshow. So sit back, have a good laugh as we did. We overcame. We'll send it out on that message, and we'll see you on episode 13.
What are you doing?
Chilling here.
We're stuck inside the vehicle
Yeah.
at Daytona. The battery on the Roadshow mobile has died. We're trying to leave.
And we didn't even put music at all day or night. It was just that for some reason when you open
Maybe the door was open.
that light stays on the whole fucking time.
The sunroof was open. We covered it with a table. Here comes John.
Oh, sweet.
I guess open the trunk and let's help him, or the hood.
Right here, this side. The ground's on this side. It's inside the pocket.
John is here to save us. John's gonna save us.
Yes.
John, you saved the day.
I know. What's up? Hey, man.
Look at that. Dude, I poured freaking sun drop on that. Look how clean that is. Later, bro.
Josh or John saved the day. John saved the day. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Now we can leave.
It's good to have friends.
I think we take a left out of here.
Yep.
Man, this has been an amazing episode. We've never done an episode other than one solid day. Now we covered one episode in 3 days. It's going to be so jam-packed worth of good entertainment. The Roadshow's had a wonderful time. We are escaping before a tornado and thunderstorm hit. We have a battery charged, heading out the turn 1 tunnel. Wow. You're going fast, Earnhardt.
It's the tunnel.
Well, Daytona, it's been a wonderful episode 12. As we always say, the Roadshow has to get on down the road. We're heading home. We'll see you on the next episode.